Hello all, welcome back. Today I wanted to talk about HALT. And what that is an acronym for hungry, angry, lonely, tired. So hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Fish that scare you little, scared me a little. Okay, are you gonna stay or are you gonna go? All right, bye. So HALT is something that I didn't come up with myself. If you look on social media, if you Google it, you'll see all sorts of stuff with HALT. I first heard of it 20 odd years ago. It's something I learned in association with substance abuse counseling. However, it can be applied to all sorts of different situations. Recovery can also be about recovering from a divorce, a medical issue, death in the family, loss of a job. There could be a whole number of issues that could be leading to needing to rebuild your life. I wanted to talk about it today because this is something I regularly share with my clients. It's very easy to remember because it tells you exactly what to do, which is HALT, and then it tells you what are the main areas to look at. So clearly we need to eat in order to live. For anger helps us to set boundaries so that we are able to protect ourselves and to maintain our integrity. Loneliness, that's about being sure that we have social connection, which is really important for us. We're mammals, we're not reptiles, so we have to have connections with others. And being tired, we spend a third of our lives asleep, and so it's really important that we have sleep in order to function. So HALT is about noticing that if any one of these is going on with you, this is enough to slow down, notice what's going on, and don't let the presence such as of anger or loneliness or absence such as food or sleep the main driving force in a decision that you're making. That you are slowing down, recognizing the need at the time, and making sure as much as you can in that moment that the need is met. Or moving forward with some kind of action until you've had that need met. Hunger is a basic drive, it's a basic need, and it's really hard for us to override it. So if you find yourself in a situation where it seems like you always have to skip meals or you're not able to eat, then that would be time to slow down, try to plan ahead so that you are able to eat. It can be really hard to stop and eat. So I would recommend in those cases to just have some extra stuff in your car, always have some snacks with you. When I get too hungry, I definitely move into a place of hangry. Which brings us to the next part of HALT, which is anger. Anger by itself is actually a really good thing. Sometimes we think, oh, anger, it's a bad emotion. Anger, though, at its functional level is actually very helpful for you to be able to set good boundaries with people. At higher levels, however, anger, like the other emotions that we have, if the level is too high, the thinking part of our brain, our frontal lobe, it actually shuts down and we don't have access to it. And that's the part that helps us with reason and logic. So if your anger is too high, you're not going to be able to reason through something and be logical and really make good decisions. That emotion needs to come down a little bit before you're going to be able to make a good decision. And this is even if your anger is justified. To really have the next step, your next action be something that's going to be beneficial for you, you need to slow it down and let the anger calm down first. Step away from the situation, not make any decisions, and let your body calm down, become more relaxed, and so you're able to activate more of your thinking brain and then able to problem solve. As I said, as mammals, we require connection with others. It's actually hardwired into our brain. It's a part of the brain that we have that, as I mentioned, reptiles don't have it. So they don't require the same kind of social connection that we do. It's the emotional part of the brain that isn't just about drives, it's about connection. When we're feeling lonely, this is a time when we can be particularly vulnerable to situations that can fill the need of the loneliness. Connections with others is a basic drive. When we're feeling lonely, it can make us more susceptible to not making the best decisions in order to have that connection, or what we feel like is that kind of connection. This is a time when people could be more likely to use substances. People are deciding to be in less than adequate relationships so that they're not alone. People end up watching too much TV, too much social media. This is definitely one of the areas where addictive behavior can come in order to take those feelings that we're having, the loneliness, and to be numbing them and calming them down. This is a time to really, really be gentle with yourself and be kind to yourself. And slow things down. Don't just go by the feeling that you're having that you have to connect. You want to slow it down and ask yourself, am I just trying to fill a hole here, fill a need, or is this something that really long-term is going to help me out, that's really going to be helpful to me? This is also a time where I think doing some grounding work can really help. Sometimes part of where we feel lonely is really we're not fully connecting with ourselves. And if we can connect better with ourselves in terms of being in our body, being in the moment and slowing down, then that can help us to feel less lonely. The connection with ourselves is the main and most consistent connection that we can have. And I don't want this to sound like one of those things, well, you gotta love yourself before you love other people. That's not what I'm talking about. To me, that just falls kind of flat for when someone's really feeling lonely and sad and hurt and disconnected. This takes a little bit of practice, but it can really make a difference, so that when there are times when other people aren't available to connect with, then you don't feel so deprived. And now finally with HALT, we have T, which is tired. Being tired seems to be one of those things, even if you've eaten, even if you're not mad, even if you're connecting with others, you're not feeling lonely, you could still feel tired, and you could feel chronically tired. And that can come from a variety of things. It could be lack of sleep because you have an infant or a small child. It could be that you have a medical issue that makes it difficult for you to sleep, or that you have chronic fatigue, so you're always feeling tired. It could also be that your stress level is really high, which can make one feel tired as well. Wherever it's coming from, the main thing is that when we're tired, we're just not as sharp mentally. We're more willing to compromise on things because we don't have the gusto to think things through, to maybe set limits that we need to. We can start to make mistakes. And on days where you're tired, and again, this is something that it's not just as simple as, although I would recommend, getting at least 8 hours of sleep every night, being sure to take breaks, and so on. I mean, clearly building enough sleep time into your life is important. What I'm talking about right now, though, is you are in the middle of being tired and what to do in that moment. And tiredness, and this applies to the hungry, angry, and lonely as well. When we're in the middle of being tired, we have to recognize the real limits that it's going to put on our ability to manage things and make good decisions. We have to go into a situation not pushing through as if we are not tired, but recognize that we are not at full capacity, that instead of at 100% or 90% or whatever percent you feel like is your full capacity, that you are lower and you are just not going to be able to do as much that day. And in the moment, if you're able to give yourself that recognition and space, that you're not going to be able to function at the highest level at this point, then it's going to make it so much easier for you. You're going to be able to set realistic goals for the day, and you're going to feel more accomplished. Hi, guys. Come here. Okay. And I'll ask too, how have your social connections been this week? And I will tell you that, social doesn't have to just be with people. It can be with pets as well. And many people who are more introverted have a harder time connecting with people. Maybe it's harder for them to get around. Having a pet can be a wonderful way to connect. They can help to soothe you. They can help you to relax. Right, Faz? Right, big boy? So, in summary, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. If these things are happening, whether it's just one of them or all too often, it can be a combination of them, you want to halt. You want to slow it down, take your time, and be patient with yourself so that you can make the best decisions. That's all I have for today. My name is Bethany Brunn. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I hope today's video helped you get back to you. Bye!